Hello, my friend and fellow intuitive academic. My name is Shelly, and I draw from my intuition and my experience as a PhD to offer you guidance on your academic journey. So this reading will resonate mostly with grad students. So I wanted to help you as we come to the end of the year. Make sure that you haven't been knocked too far off course of your dissertation or your thesis's higher purpose. So the idea here being that if you've entered academia trying to serve a higher purpose, then that means your thesis or your dissertation would be kind of the project or the product of that higher purpose, as well as the idea that your thesis or your dissertation itself has a higher purpose, right? That aligns with yours. But as we kind of navigate our academic identities and grow and stretch and encounter different influences, it's good, I think, to kind of step aside in these moments of rest, especially as the semester has ended for you or is winding down, to check in and make sure that you yourself are still aligned to your path that you intended for yourself, your reason for entering academia, to craft yourself as an academic, and as well that the work that you're producing also aligns with that higher purpose. So with that said, I wanted to offer this reading in December to help you realign to your thesis's or your dissertation's higher purpose. So we're just going to start with that question. How can we as a collective academic community realign to our dissertation or thesis's higher purpose? So our central energy here, oh wow, very strong, is the Death card. It looks a little foreboding, and we actually got this in an earlier reading, so this seems to be a theme that keeps coming through this month. Death, you can think of this in the same breath as rebirth. So death of something means the birth of something else or the renewal of something else. You can also think of this as like a phoenix rising from the ashes, right? There's something renewed or important that had to happen in order, something had to become ashes in order for the phoenix to rise out of it. So I'm really getting that in this Death card specifically. Especially I'm really being drawn to right now the wreath. Almost feels like the hand is pointing to the wreath, and it reminds me of the wreath in the World card, which is a cycle completion. So there's some profound message coming through regarding how to realign with your thesis or dissertation's higher purpose. Something is coming to an end in order for something else to arise, and it's like a necessary next step. It's a natural part of the process. So the first things I'm already getting now is think of it as like you wrote a proposal, right? It was based on good research that you did, and but as you went about the research, you realized, oh, this is not actually how I anticipated the research to follow through. And so that proposal has to kind of like die a natural death to incorporate the new information that will lead you on the next step to your dissertation or your thesis's completion. Okay, that's very good energy coming through, and a great thing to kind of focus on as you're rounding out the year, rounding out the semester. Kind of think through what parts of my original plan or the most recent plan have to kind of die a natural death, things that I have to let go of gracefully so that I can move on into the proper pathway for this next step in your thesis or dissertation. With this, I'm really getting the energy that this should happen as you close out the year, as you close out the semester. This should happen now, and it should not wait until the end of next semester or any other cycle that you're conceiving. This is the end of the cycle right now. So whatever needs to be let go in order to move on to the right path needs to be let go of. Okay, so I'm going to pull out 6 more cards to help us understand this in a little bit more depth. Okay, so next we have the King of Wands, King of Canes, and 5 of Candles, or 5 of Wands. So this tells me there is a, how do I say this? This is coming to me as an actual person involved in your project, if not you. The King of, this is King of Swords, can often be like a guiding energy or represent a person. I'm kind of getting that this is a person, and it might be you. So the King of Swords is somebody who has clarity of thought and kind of arranges or strategizes something very logically. So this is a very mental space kind of ruling energy, and this could easily represent you as somebody who does very well in the mental capacity, thinking logically, thinking calmly and clearly, somebody who might divorce their emotions a bit more than others from that process. So someone who's very dedicated to like separating logic from emotions, for example. If it's not you, and if this sounds like somebody else, like maybe your advisor or someone else involved with the project, then maybe you can read the message that way. And then 5 of Candles is the 5 of Wands. And this is a bit of like too many cooks in the kitchen situation. Usually in the usual like symbolism is that you see 5 wands, 5 hands, all kind of locked in an impasse. But in this image, it's kind of like I want to say like family drama happening. This person could be comforting this person, giving them a tissue. But it looks like some kind of mishap happened. Everyone kind of left mid-meal. One of the candles is misaligned. So there's some kind of drama happening. And I'll hold off on what I wanted to say next until I get to the next cards. But this is kind of the situation that's kind of coming forward to explain what needs to close out to move forward and to realign with your dissertation's higher purpose. So then we have the Knight of Good Cheer, which is the Knight of Cups, and the Lightning Tree, which is the Tower reversed. Okay, I'm going to start here. So the Tower reversed usually means that there is a change that is happening for you. It can be a little bit of an abrupt energy that you'll have to kind of realign yourself to, kind of have to buckle in and just ride the waves. But it is happening, it's something that it's happening for you. It's kind of like a divine intervention type of card. In this one, you can see a lot of people in cloaks running away. And some of the baubles have come off. It's almost like either they summoned this lightning to happen, and now they're getting out of there as the effects take place, or they're just enjoying their time and then just something just came and ruined it all. So when it's in the reverse, though, that means that you're kind of resisting that change a lot, and you're seeing it as something that's happening to you, not for you. Just remember that this is happening for you, and the way that you can kind of work on remembering that is to embrace this Knight of Cups energy, just moving forward lovingly, leading yourself and others with love at a steady pace, not too fast, not too slow. Kindness, compassion, that's all going to be important here. And then next you have the Page of Good Cheer reversed. And then Father Christmas reversed. And Father Christmas is the Hermit card in usual decks, or decks that follow the usual word naming. Okay, so I'm going to start here. So the Father Christmas card, the Hermit card, typically refers to introspection and kind of seeking answers within. And then the Page of Good Cheer, the Page of Cups, can often refer to an incoming message to do with emotions, possibly connections. So I'm seeing with this pair that it's kind of like your introspection, your inner voice is blocked. There's a message that should be coming through to you to help guide you through all of this, and you're not getting it. Maybe you're not seeing the signs, or you're not taking the time to center yourself and connect. Okay, so do you remember, I want to come back to what I wanted to say here. Do you remember how I thought this might be you, it might not? Now I'm pretty certain this is you. And then the sequence of people, the court cards, the Knight and the Page, are advice on how to maybe adjust your energy to navigate this situation. So as I said before, the Knight of Canes, and in particular in this reading, the characteristic that's coming through is the separation between mental processing and emotions. The cards are advising you to step into the emotions a bit more, to reconnect. This is an answer that's going to come from introspection and from connecting to yourself in a loving way. You're not going to logic your way through this. In fact, you're going to miss the road signs that will realign you to the right path if you try to see it with your logic. You have to see this with your heart, basically. So try to kind of think along those lines. Right, so there was there's drama happening here. There's some kind of upset that you can't accept. And I feel like this is an impasse because of the upset, and it's being drawn out longer than it needs to. So if this is a person, or if this is something that rerouted your original plan, as we were saying in the Death card, your guidance is to let that go. Love yourself the whole way. Don't think of that as a failure. Embrace it and remember all of the accomplishments that you've achieved through that. It's not, if this one thing doesn't work out, doesn't mean that this is a total failure. It just means that's part of the process. And that's the part of the process you need to embrace to realign to your dissertation, your thesis's higher path. That's a necessary process, so don't delay it, just let go. And then you'll be setting off like this hermit, Father Christmas here, on the right path. You can see, I'm very happy for you about this. It's almost like the death card is blocking your path here, redirecting you to set off on a discovery into the right path. And of course, Father Christmas is, I believe, Santa Claus. And not sure what the symbols are for these sticks here. Thinking like, I don't know, firewood, something to spread light and warmth. But also he has a bag full of gifts for children. So, you know, he's on a mission. He has a purpose. He has to kind of find his own way. He has to be led by his own light, and there's just something beautiful that he's going to give to the world at the end of this, and the journey will definitely be worth it, even though it's a long, cold path. He's kind of keeping to himself, keeping that introspective, meditative pace going step by step, and he will get to that point of destination that he needs to be. So a little bit of a message of just stick to the path, stick to the process, even if it feels a little difficult. Just put one foot in front of the other and you'll get there. And definitely with these two cards, like I said, in the reverse, I want to get you extra guidance on how you can connect to those inner messages or the signs that you're missing, that are being given to you by your guides, your spirit team, your ancestors, however you feel you're connecting and being led. So I'm going to pull from the Starseed Oracle, since this is about higher purpose, and see what messages we get here. Okay, so this one, I think. Hyrith, I think. Longing for home, homesick for the stars. So let me see if I remember about this card. Yeah, in this one, there's a bit of the sense of feeling kind of foreign here on Earth, and wanting to feel that connection, feeling homesickness for the stars. And that's making me think of the energy of resisting change, right? Resisting why you're here, feeling uncomfortable. You're in an uncomfortable part of the journey, but you did come here for a specific reason. And academia is part of that journey, part of that reason. And so you need just a little bit more of a loving hand on your own heart, reaching out to others possibly, and enjoying their cups of good cheer together, to kind of reconnect emotionally to why you're here, why you're doing what you're doing, because you're a little bit prioritizing the logic right now, which you've mastered very well. It served you very well, but it's not serving you holistically. There's a need for a more holistic balance to get you to realign to your right path. Yeah, there's something in this card with you too about rising above that I'm seeing, like rising above the drama and focusing on your self-care, focusing on yourself, focusing on building up your safe spaces, your inner world, your environment. So these two cards, the advice that's coming through for you, are in this warm kitchen setting, you know, drinking yummy drinks, festive drinks, reading a holiday card. Get your safe zone all arranged and just like hibernate in there sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, like feel cozy and um just enjoy those moments. Even if you feel like you're wasting time, it's not. This is really what's going to align you. I also want to bring in another card for direction from the Cozy Witch Tarot and see what that might add. So you have King of Pentacles. Wow, another King energy. True success isn't just about money. It's about happiness too. Oh, yeah, that's exactly the message that's been coming through. And that's a nice way to close out the whole reading. True success isn't just about money. I would also say it's not just about logic or, you know, having all the answers. It's about being happy too with what you've produced and about the process, happy for yourself about how you progress through the process. Yeah, as we go through academia, there's a lot of, you know, rubrics that we have to learn to kind of adhere to or judge ourselves by. Well, I'm not saying that we have to, but I'm saying that's kind of the messaging we get. And it's very hard to kind of unlearn that and protect ourselves and create our own rubrics for success. So that's definitely what I'm seeing here for you, is that you are kind of being misled by those external rubrics of success. Maybe like achieving this grant that you didn't get, or, you know, like trying to receive praise from a committee member that you didn't get. Those are often, we're taught those are our rubrics of success, our markers of success as we're going through the process of writing the dissertation or thesis. But it doesn't have to be, and it really shouldn't be. You know, eventually you're going to graduate and you're going to be the professional, and you're going to be able to like recognize more strongly your own set of rubrics for success. So why not work on that now for yourself? Kind of sort out in your own mind what does success mean for you, and remember, it's not just about the physical attainment, the things on your CV. It's about your inner well-being too, your inner happiness, how satisfied you are with this work. And then you have, thanks for supporting local witches. So I get the sense here that like the King of Pentacles is just this like small small business owner. And you would think the King of Pentacles is like, you know, the CEO of an empire, but this is kind of reversing that thinking of success for this King of Pentacles means, you know, having this shop that gives them kind of a sense of completion and success. So translate that how you will onto your dissertation or thesis. You don't have to be kind of and you might be putting pressure on yourself to have like this earth-shattering like argument or thesis, but that's not really part of your path. It's kind of misdirecting you. The ego, that's what it is. The ego is getting in the way a bit too much now. That needs to be let go. Remember what your thesis is serving the local community. That's where your happiness and your success lies. Okay, I do want to read this card, so that might give you a little bit more understanding on how to realign to your thesis or your dissertation's higher purpose. So Hyrith is a Welsh word that's difficult to translate, but it refers to a certain longing or homesickness, a yearning for a home or place to which we cannot return. This unexplainable, unshakable longing for home is common in starseeds and old souls. Perhaps you've had it since birth. For some, it's a distant memory of a planet, galaxy, or star system in the universe that their soul remembers and yearns to return to. a place they may have experienced more than earth. For others, it's a longing for the unity of source, a remembering of interconnected oneness. This yearning can lead some starseeds to travel, searching all corners of the planet to find a physical place that feels more like home. For others, it can manifest as a need to find home in people, communities, and relationships. A journey to find somewhere they truly belong. If you resonate with this yearning for home but don't really know where home is, you're being invited to remember that your soul chose to be on earth. You're being called to fully commit to embodying your life. You're being reassured that you didn't come here alone and that your soul consciously decided to experience what it's like to be a soul in a human body on this planet at this time. You're being called to anchor all of your presence, your personality, your soul, and your spirit in the here and now, to fully commit to living this life right now, to commit to putting 2 feet completely in. Oh gosh, that's just like we were seeing in the Hermit card, Father Christmas. I kept reiterating just 1 foot in front of the other, 1 step at a time, 2 feet completely in. Yeah, and there was something I was seeing about looking for belonging, yearning for home and connection. That really kind of lines up with this card too, right? So, redefining your success to serve your local community, your community, however you're defining that. It could be like a cultural community or a community of shared experiences, identity community, or a physical location that's your community. There's something in there in your project that that's pretty important and that you're kind of losing sight of. That's where the real success is. Whoever's going to benefit from the research, that's who you should be focusing on, and not the people who are judging your work for now, right? So that could be like grant institutions or awards institutions or your own committee. You're doing this for a very specific set of people who will benefit from it, and realign to that. That's not nothing. That's really important. I'm seeing like a very nice kind of fluidity between this card and the other oracle card with the stars, kind of like, and she's looking up, kind of like remembering this kind of universal source depiction and connecting it to the physical here and now. So that's also part of your guidance, right? Is to keep yourself in the here and now, 1 foot in front of the other. Keep marching towards serving the community that you intended to. Let your ego go because it's misdirecting you. It's causing you a lot of pain too, I think. Forcing you into these uncomfortable standards when really there's a magical success happening in what you're doing, and just keep sight of that. So with that, I'm going to leave you with your message for this reading. Please hit the like button if this resonates with you. You can share your story in the comments. Please subscribe. I would love to see you back here again for another reading. And with that, I'm sending you lots of light and hoping that you'll continue to work with love, my dear fellow intuitive academic.